I have a special guest with me today, and this is the true Michael Myers fanatic. And welcome to my channel, the Michael Myers Fan25.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love the channel.
Mhm.
Great content.
I appreciate that, man. Same to you, man. You got a great channel, and I suggest all my subscribers go check out his channel, subscribe to him because he's really about his Halloween stuff. He knows everything about it, so definitely give his channel a look. So today we're going to talk about the Halloween franchise, specifically the state of the Halloween franchise. And I want to start off with this question. What were your initial thoughts on Halloween 2018?
Well, when they first announced it, I was not happy because I wanted them to do Retribution, as you know. And when I found out, however, that John Carpenter was going to do it, I flipped out because I was like, oh, we're going to get the original feeling back. It's going to feel like the older ones. And so fast forward to 2017 and I find out that a comedian is doing it. And I got a little nervous. I was like, they're letting a comedian do this movie. They're letting a comedian I think Danny McBride is I think he's the director or writer or something. I admit I don't know that. But either way he's involved and I'm like, how is this going to turn out? And then we fast forward to 2018. I finally see the movie. And to be quite honest with you, sir, I didn't like it. I like parts of it. I like the part where Jamie Lee Curtis broke into her daughter's house and she was like, "You don't have an adequate security system, Karen."
Yeah, that was a good part. And honestly, I laughed at that part. And I think that was a good comedic relief at that moment. Speaking of comedic relief, what do you think about the little kid that was in the movie and all that comic relief that was going on during that scene when Michael Myers came out the closet?
Well, I think it's funny how you said came out the closet. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, but I don't know, bro. I think that was a bit too much, and let me tell you why. Because Michael Myers is supposed to be something that you're afraid of. And it's like when the kid says what he says, when he says, "oh shit," I mean, yeah, there's tension there. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. It's like it was funny. Am I supposed to be laughing when Michael Myers comes around? I don't know. I just felt like I'm not supposed to be laughing. That's my thought.
Yeah, that whole scene, I personally didn't like it because it would have been better if he would have ran up the steps and just looked at Michael and just ran back down without saying anything. That's
Exactly.
how they should have played it.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, they could have easily, especially with the technology that we have today, as you know, sir, we can do things on our laptops now. We can edit movie footage on our laptops now. So they could have easily edited out the oh shit. Easily.
Yeah, you're right. But when I was watching that in the theater, everyone was laughing, and I don't know. Did you have that same experience?
Well, see, that's the thing. I watched it at home.
Oh, okay, okay.
And but I was laughing. So that's what I'm trying to ask you as a Halloween fan. Do you think I should have been laughing when I saw Michael Myers?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so either.
And I'll tell you the part that I did laugh at when I forgot the girl's name that was babysitting. When she slipped and fell, I was like, why did she fall?
Uh, I don't know. I guess they wanted to add tension to it and make it. suspenseful and something to be afraid of or whatever. But again,
It was
I
too it was too cliche for me for to see her fall like that. I mean, it wasn't nothing in the way. It wasn't no drop cord or nothing. She just slipped and fell. I was like, come on.
and that's the thing. I'm not trying to be rude, because I've heard a lot of people say, like I was interviewing this one guy from Scream Factory, the people that make those horror Blu-rays,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he said that he was like, well, they're not going to want to come on your channel if you're like speaking against their movie or whatever. And I understand that. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not. I just didn't like it. I don't know. I felt like it could have been better. Like when Michael Myers was chasing Vicky, why didn't he chase her around the house? Why didn't they run? Like maybe she could have picked up the little kid and like held him in her arms and ran with him and shit.
Yeah, you're right about that. And
Like
that would have made perfect sense.
fucking run with him, run and hide.
Because because we don't even know what happened to the little kid, and I think he's going to be in Halloween Kills, if I'm not mistaken.
He is, but my thing is, bro, run and hide in the closet. Pick the fucking kid up and run.
Yeah, you're right.
She
And
should
I
have.
didn't understand. I didn't understand her boyfriend either. Her boyfriend actually went outside, and he was starting up that motorcycle, and I was like, "This don't even make sense." You know what I'm saying? And
I,
then he
I
heard his girlfriend crying, and he was hesitating about going up there.
and that's the thing. I'm just happy. I just want to say this right now. I'm just happy to be on your channel right now. I'm just happy to be talking Halloween Kills. I
Oh
really,
yeah, man.
because this is like I don't even know. It didn't make any sense to me. If you're the babysitter, let me paint a picture for you. If you're the babysitter, wouldn't your first thought be grab the kid, get the kid?
Exactly. Yep.
You,
Grab the kid, get him out of there, and drive away. If anything, just drive away.
pick the kid up and like run with them or whatever. So I don't know what, like, go hide in the closet, go do something. I thought that would have made it great. Like, what if they called the cops and she was like, somebody's in the house, like they did with Halloween 2007. And then the cops were like, ma'am, there's nobody out here. Why
Yep.
don't you do, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I did like that sheriff. What's his name? Hawkins. He was cool.
Yeah, Hawkins, he was a good character. I've been hearing some theories that he might be alive still because he got stabbed, I think, but they really didn't give a clear answer on whether he actually died or not.
I hope he's not dead because he was the only thing that was great about the movie. I liked him and I liked Allison.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Allison go up against Michael, and I thought that's what we were gonna get, but oh well.
Yeah, Allison, she has that potential to be like the next Laurie Strode. I don't see them going in that direction.
Where is she, by the way? Don't you think it's a little strange? I mean, think about it, bro. What day are we on? Are we on like day 4 or some shit of the movie? And like,
Yeah, I don't even think like main stars is like on set yet.
oh yeah, well you might have a point because a lot of times I forget that with the technology, see the technology is growing now. And nowadays you don't even have to be in the same area to film things or whatever. Maybe she'll be along later after Jamie Lee Curtis goes home or whatever. I don't know, but I don't know. I just think it's strange that we haven't even seen her yet. So
Yeah, you're right. So What did you think about James Jude Courtney playing Michael Myers? Did you think he did a good job?
Well, uh, to be honest with you, I think he could have done a little better. I think he walked way too quickly because one of the things that I noticed is that I was watching it with a family member, and they came in and they basically said, "Why is he walking so fast?" And that was the scene where he just did that rampage and killed everybody. You know, he was beating people in the head with hammers. He went from door to door killing people. And you know, I don't know. I didn't like it. I'm trying to find something good to say. I told you I liked the sheriff or deputy or whatever he was. I liked him, and Allison had potential. She was great.
Yeah. What about the news reporters, what the podcasters in the
Oh,
opening scenes?
that guy, man. Let me tell you, I like the guy. The girl, not so much. I like the guy. You know, he was cool because he tried to save her life. Now it didn't go anywhere, but you know, I like the whole thing where he's like, "Say something." You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
And
know.
then
I thought they should
what did you?
for retribution, but you know, that's another video.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole bathroom scene and how Michael Myers got his mask back?
That was way too Rob Zombie for me.
I thought the same thing too. And I didn't like the fact that he put the mask on in broad daylight.
Yeah, that was
And
way too Rob Zombie. And again, it should have been a clean white mask. You talk against Rob Zombie's movies, but you take stuff from his movies. Doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
yeah, you're right. Just like all the kill scenes, like you had Ray getting choked out with a chain or something, and that was the same scene from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2,
Exactly.
and the face stomp, that was the same thing as Rob Zombie 2.
Exactly. And the rough soundtrack. If you listen to how the soundtrack, how it sounds all gritty and rough. It doesn't sound smooth like the original ones, like 1 through 8. This one sounds all rough. And who had a rough soundtrack? Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way.
Just go back and listen to the soundtrack. It doesn't sound smooth like the first 8 movies. It sounds like a rough movie, and you know, so they talk against it, yet they take stuff from it. They took the torn up mask. They took the kills, the rough and brutal soundtrack. They took the thing where the guy got choked out. Like you said, that's right out of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yep. And they took stuff from Halloween 4.
Exactly.
um
And yet they talk against the sequels.
yeah, I never understood that. And then they paid homage to Resurrection with Resurrection Church Van.
Yep. Right, and Resurrection was supposed to be one of the worst ones in the franchise, according to them.
Yeah, man, I don't understand. And the whole Halloween 2018 movie was the same thing as the 1978 movie. Nothing
Exactly.
changed.
Exactly. And by the way, that was a great point that you brought out when you said that people complain with Resurrection. Oh, we want something different. You got something different because Jamie Lee Curtis was dead. There is no more family left, and you got Michael Myers killing people for no reason. That's something different right there.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a fresh start at that point.
So I don't know what their gripe is.
And I heard like in like Halloween Kills, it just seems like they're thriving off nostalgia so much, and they have these new actors coming. Well, not new actors, but they have Tommy Doyle coming back and Lindsay Wallace coming back, and I'm like, what's the point of that?
I don't know. this was my understanding of it, and then when I'm done, you can tell me your understanding. I understood that um, Allison had the knife in her hand, so my understanding was that she probably suffered some sort of traumatic experience from it, and maybe she was going to start acting like Michael Myers. Maybe she was going to be the new Jamie Lloyd. No offense to Danielle Harris, I'm just saying that's where they look like they were going with it. That she was going to be the new Jamie Lloyd, like she was going to be half crazy. But then I see Lindsay Wallace, Tommy Doyle, and Lonnie Elam coming back. And I'm saying, well, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, and then people want Charles Cyphers to come back as well. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just all over the place. And I think it's too distracting to have all these actors come back, well, characters come back in the franchise. And speaking of like actors coming back, I hate to be beating a dead horse, but Danielle Harris should have been in Halloween 2018, and I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it would have made perfect sense because Karen, I don't think that's her real name. That's her character's name. I forgot. Judy Greer. That's her name. She did an okay job, but I feel like that would have been the perfect opportunity to have Danielle Harris play that role.
Well, I'll say this. When I think of a Halloween movie, I don't think of Danielle right away, but I do think of her. I mostly think of unfortunately, Jamie Lee Curtis comes to mind, and I guess that's because she was the main star.
But Donald Pleasance come to my mind when I think of Halloween.
Exactly, and this is the way I would have done it. I guess you're right. I guess we would have had to put Danielle Harris in there, and we would have had to do it because she's the only one that can pull off that role of a daughter that has a grudge against her mother. She would have pulled it off. But I don't know. With Judy Greer, it's just I don't know, man. You're right. It should have been Danielle because when Judy Greer was about to shoot Michael Myers, Judy Greer was like, she was trying to say, I can't do it. But when she was saying it, it sounded like she was singing. She was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And it's like, are you talking or singing?
Yeah.
And then she shot him. Like, bro, if you can find that clip online, go back and look at the clip. She's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that again and see can I notice it.
You gotta go find that clip and put it on. What do they call it? The auto tune.
Yeah.
You make a song out of that. I can't do it. I love.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I love talking about this stuff.
Oh yeah. So do you think Michael Myers is like supernatural or is he human? Because in this movie, he got ran over by the truck, he got stabbed a couple of times, he got shot in his hand, and he also got shot, I think, in his cheek, I think. So, what do you think about all that?
Well, I think they're trying to please multiple people, and I say that because they're sort of contradicting themselves. On one hand, they say he's not human, that he's pure evil, but yet they let him age. He lost his eye. And then they say he is human, and yet He gets ran over, like you said, he gets shot and all these things, and he's still ticking. Getting your fingers blown off, the pain would be so excruciating. I don't even know how you would be able to continue. I don't.
Yeah, not only that though, when he got ran over, that Sheriff Hawkins, well not Sheriff, but Hawkins literally like ran over him. That should have been enough right there.
Right. And they're trying to say, well, he's a man. Well, if he's a man, why isn't he dead? I mean, it's not making sense. To be honest with you, I think they made it for the true crime audiences. Like I said the last time when we were taping, I don't know if if you watch true crime. I don't know, like if you watch Investigation Discovery or anything like that, or the First 48 or any of those other crime shows. But I feel like that's the audience that they made it for today. And so they were trying to keep them as human as possible.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially when they were doing that podcast thing and trying to do the little. Yeah, so I can see that.
Because that's what everybody's doing today. If you look on the true crime community, everybody and their mama has a podcast. It's just what they're doing today. I even have a few true crime videos on my channel that I made.
What are your expectations for Halloween Kills?
Well, I don't think I'm going to get it, but I would like to see Michael versus Allison. I would like to see her stronger. You know, I don't want to see her introverted. I don't want to see her in a shell acting like an abuse victim. I want to see her come out of that shell, and I want to see her kick Michael's ass.
Yeah, I would like to see that too, because after thinking on it, I don't even think Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in this movie like a lot of people think. I think she'll probably be in the hospital the majority of the movie, and I think Allison and Karen will probably be the main, characters going in.
I'm hoping so. I hope that's the way it goes.
But you got Jamie Lee Curtis on this campaign talking about exploring violence and the trauma again. So
I know. Oh, here we go. See, that's what I was trying to tell you guys last year. There's that word again.
They really need to stop Jamie Lee Curtis from promoting this movie, because all her interviews sound the same.
And the thing is, she let this guy interview her. I guess he was from Entertainment Tonight. And as I've told you guys before, because you followed my channel for years now, you've heard me say so many times they don't have a lot of black people in these horror films. And so when they get the one black guy to interview her, he messes up the interview. He said that Michael Myers wears a hockey mask.
Oh my goodness, that's one thing I hate, man. When people get Jason mixed up with Michael Myers, I was like, come on, man, you got to know the difference by now.
And it's like she played it cool on camera. She was like, oh no, that's Friday the 13th, baby. So she played it very cool on camera. But bro, you gotta wonder, what did she say when the camera stopped rolling?
She probably was pissed off, but she probably didn't say nothing though. She was probably just like,
man, I'm telling you, really, it's like, really, Michael Myers wears a hockey mask? Are you serious?
Yeah, man, that's embarrassing. He should have did his homework.
Oh my goodness. You can tell. Look, here's the thing. I guess I shouldn't take it personally when they turn me down for interviews, because I get it. They want to go on Entertainment Tonight. And you might be saying, well, what does this have to do with anything? I'll tell you. They want to go on Entertainment Tonight because Entertainment Tonight gets more views. And I understand that. But if you're going to go on Entertainment Tonight, don't you think the guy should at least know what the hell he's talking about?
Exactly. And yeah, that's enough to get you fired too, making that big of a mistake.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I don't get as many views as Entertainment Tonight. I get it. I understand that. I get it. But when they did go on there, this guy said a hockey mask. Michael Myers wears a hockey mask. Wow. You know what? Let's just move on to the next question. I'm already embarrassed enough.
Oh yeah. So do you think they actually needed a Halloween Ends movie? Like they say it's going to be the end, but we all know that it's not going to be the end. And what do you want to see after the movie Halloween Ends?
Um, well, I'm gonna answer the first part. Do I think they needed Halloween Ends? Well, it depends. If the trilogy was good, bro, of course I would love to see it. You know me, you know what I'm gonna say. I know everybody's tired of me talking about her. You know what girl I'm about to bring up. It's all about, you already know who I'm gonna say.
Oh, I know.
You know who it is, bro. It's all about Andy. If they're gonna let Andy, do this thing where she has this rivalry with Michael Myers, and they're basically one-upping each other, I would love to see that. I would love to see Andy play a chess game with Michael Myers. That would be so awesome. But, if they're not going to do that, then no, let this be the last one and just make it a 2-hour movie.
I feel like at this point they have to go back to Halloween Resurrection. They have to. Either Resurrection or Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers. I feel like those two movies are probably the best opportunity for a sequel at that point.
And check this out. You could just do it like this. You could just still do Retribution, but check this out. You could just mention the stuff in 6. Like, you could just say, I heard rumors that, his niece was tied to a cult or mixed in with a cult. And boom, there's your Halloween 6 reference right there.
Yep, you're right. It's something I'm wishing for, and I hope they do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully 10 years from now we can get that. I appreciate them bringing Halloween back, but at the same time, I was disappointed with Halloween 2018. It didn't really add to the story. We didn't see anything new. It was just like a Halloween Greatest Hits movie.
Basically. And it's like, again, I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone. It's just that you had all these things in front of you, but you didn't do anything with them. First of all, you said Michael Myers and Laurie Strode weren't brother and sister. Okay, but what are you going to do with that? What does that have to do with the story? I felt like the only reason they said that was because John Carpenter didn't like Halloween 2. So they just cut it out of the canon.
Like you said, they said they was gonna ignore all the sequels.
Well, again, what did you do with it though? You didn't do anything with it. As a matter of fact, when you said you were gonna ignore the sequels, you just ended up putting them right back in there.
Yep, you're right.
You did references to the sequels.
Every single scene.
So you might as well just made Retribution. Matter of fact, and let me know what you think of this and give me your honest opinion. If you disagree, tell me you disagree. They might as well have just made Retribution and added Andy Matichak and added Judy Greer as new characters.
Basically, I mean, It would have been better that way, to be honest.
Like Andy Matichak, she could have been some girl that was studying serial killers or something, and Judy Greer could have played as her mother. And maybe Jamie Lee Curtis could have made a tiny cameo where somebody drops something on the street or whatever, and Jamie Lee Curtis bends down and picks it up and hands it to him and just walks away or something. I don't know. Or, you know what? I got an even better one for you. They could have had something where Jamie Lee Curtis was actually alive. She was alive the whole time, and she was in the hospital.
You know, I thought about that too, because when she got killed in Resurrection, it's not really confirmed. Although she took that long fall, but she could have ran away or anything.
Well, she would have had broken legs. So what they could have done was they could have had her have broken legs, and then the doctors could have went in and then put the titanium or whatever thing it is. You know how they put the thing in your leg? I had one in my leg, so I know. They could have put something in her leg and put her leg back to put both of her legs back together. I mean, they didn't have to show it because that would be gross. But you know what I mean. They could have they could have had a scar on both of her legs. Then they could have had the long ass scar going down her back from the knife wound and Resurrection, and boom, there's your Jamie Lee Curtis right there. There you go, right there. They could have done that, but instead, they did this. And I just have one more thing to say before you go to your next question. A hockey mask? Like, I'm still on that. Like, really?
Yeah, that was. I don't know, man. He should have did his research.
I can't get the interviews. I know all my stuff, and I can't get the interview. This guy knows diddly squat and gets an interview.
You know, Jamie Lee Curtis, she don't even go to like conventions and stuff to give real Halloween fans the opportunity to ask questions.
Oh my goodness, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. So my last question is, what did you think about cinematography and just the Halloween mood and atmosphere in Halloween 2018?
It wasn't there. I didn't feel it.
I agree.
It felt like just this big decoration. They just put a bunch of Halloween decorations up. And
that's the same thing I said too.
I don't know how many of your followers like The Curse of Michael Myers, but that movie, let me tell you something. That movie was awful, and when I say awful, I don't mean bad. I mean it was awful as in, how do I explain this? Like, in other words, the night itself was awful. That Halloween night was awful. It was spooky. The Myers house looked really weird. The pumpkins all over the Myers house. The way Alan Howarth played the theme when the girl was being murdered across the street. You know the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When she was in the Myers house and he's stabbing her, and Alan Howarth is playing the keyboard. You know, you can hear him hitting the keys and everything, the Halloween theme, while she's being killed. That was such an awful scene. And when I say awful, I mean dreadful. It was just really evil and creepy looking. And why couldn't we get that with this movie, you know?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I don't.
The Curse of Michael Myers probably had the best Halloween atmosphere out of all the movies.
Definitely. It just felt so eerie. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, if you go back and look at that scene and he's stabbing her, Oh my goodness, bro! I was like, damn, that like I don't know how to describe it.
I,
I just
I I like the producer cut better than theatrical.
oh my goodness, man! It was just Alan did such a great job. He really did.
And
Such
didn't he do Halloween 5 too?
yeah, he did. Six was his last movie, and then he left. And I'm trying to get in touch with him. I might as well tell you guys, you've waited long enough. I'm trying to get in touch with him to bring him on.
Definitely check out the MyersFan25 channel. He has a lot of great content, a lot of great interviews, and you won't be disappointed. So definitely subscribe to his channel.
Thank you so much, sir. And like I said, your channel is great. I love the channel art. I love the channel name. I love how you're into that whole ghost thing. I myself, I can't say whether there are or are not ghosts. I do believe in, and I don't want to get too far off topic here because this is a Halloween podcast, but I do believe in people's energy. I believe in their essence. Like, I'll give you an example before we wrap this up. And you can, ask me any final Halloween questions or whatever you may have. But I believe, and I told my aunt this the other day. I said, if I were to pass away, God forbid, have an untimely demise, I would not want somebody to have my laptop because my energy is probably all over this fucking thing.
Yeah, I understand. That's like, a house too. Like people staying in a house 20 years, 30 years, the energy is trapped in there.
Right, and I wouldn't want to scare somebody. You know what I mean? It's not like, don't get me wrong, like I'm an evil person or whatever. Like, I would never hurt you. Like let's say God forbid, but I passed away, and you got my computer. I would never hurt you, like, ever. But I just don't think it would be healthy for you to own something that I was so attached to. Like, does that make any sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Like, I don't think, because my energy's all over it might go all, crazy on you. It might start doing things on its own, and that's probably me. So, I don't know. You got to think of it like this. I don't know how much you're into rap music, but look at it like this. Would you dare go into Tupac Shakur's studio? I wouldn't. I mean,
Well, I technically I would go in there because just of the history and stuff like that, but it depends on what time of day I want to go in there.
right. And if he really is dead, because some people believe he's alive, I believe he might be, but if he is dead, that's not a place I would want to be.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I got a video coming soon about that.
All right, bro, and you better believe I'm gonna be tuning in.
I got a video coming about Tupac and the conspiracies around that, and I got something lined up about the Illuminati, and that's gonna be a long video about the Illuminati.
Right, and I've actually done two videos. Like, you might want to look it up. It's a rapper by the name of Casanova.
Oh yeah, I watched those videos.
Right.
I think 2 weeks ago on your channel.
Right, and they think that they think he's Tupac. So I don't know, man. But is there anything else that you want to ask me?
I think that's about it. You covered everything. And for my subscribers, please check out his channel. He has good content.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. And if anything develops, you better believe I'll be right back on his channel. And I'll tell you, man, it would be so cool if we could get Danielle Harris and we can get her to sit down and talk to us about Halloween. That would be so awesome, bro.
And like yeah, man, that'll be great.
Yeah, man, it definitely would. I hope it happens for you. Um, Thank you again for having me on, and I'll talk to you again next time.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get up out of here. Talk to you later.
All right, peace.